Welcome back to Scripps News Live. A growing number of American couples are choosing to remain child-free, and many of them call themselves Dinks. Now, if you've never heard the term, Dink is an acronym that stands for dual income, no kids. And it's a trend that sheds light on the financial freedoms of child-free couples and really aims to push back on the expectations many couples face to have kids and live, that quote-unquote typical family life. But hey, it is not without its own quirks. One aspect maybe you don't think about when it comes to a Dink lifestyle is cooking. It seems like so many recipes are built for 4 people or more. You don't even know what to do with the rest of the food. But our next guest came up with a fix for that. From a senior executive in corporate training to a culinary personality and cookbook author, Alicia aims to make time in the kitchen for couples a breeze, which I love. Alicia, thank you for being here with us on Scripps News Live. What is the origin story of Dink cuisine? I mean, how did this all begin?
Well, hello, Lauren, and thank you so much for having me. I was 4 o'clock in the afternoon on a Friday. My CEO at the time asked me what I was going to be doing that weekend, and we're living in the Bay Area, which was where I was from. And my response to him was, I don't know, my husband and I might go to Vegas tonight. And he said, you might go to Vegas tonight? Do you not have airline tickets or anything? No plans? I'm like, no, we might just pack a bag and go. He goes, you guys are such dinks. So that's kind of how it started. I realized that it was sort of a branded lifestyle that my husband and I were enjoying. So that's how it started. Oh my gosh,
that's how you learn what it was. Okay. So, I mean, listen, yes. Since then, since that transition of knowing this is how we've lived our life and it's got a name, you've started your company and you've also got cookbooks. And the first cookbook that you had was called Italian Cookbook for Two. And I know you are also a huge champion of cooking within your means. So why for two? Yes. What do you mean by that? Can you just walk us through this?
Yeah. Well, I started my company, Dink Cuisine, in 2017. I started my website and I started writing recipes for two because what I realized was after, at that point, 17 years of marriage, I was very militant about the way that I followed recipes. I would look for recipes online, 4 to 6 servings. I would make them to a T and then have a lot of leftovers. And what I didn't eat, I would often throw in the trash, or sometimes I would overeat, which caused me to gain weight. So I started to develop recipes for two to actually just keep our household in check for me and my husband so that we weren't overeating. Got on social media, wrote Italian Cookbook for Two, which was actually a gift from my mom for my 50th birthday. My birthday is right around Mother's Day. So did that a couple of years ago, and it was real fun. It's really sort of taken off since then.
I mean, that was exactly what I was going to ask you. Since launching this in 2017, the cookbooks have come out. I mean, have you found that the Dink community that you have kind of brought together, has it grown since you launched?
It really has. And if you look at the 2022 census, the average household in America is 2.5 people. So, the days of thinking about, the American family, 2.5 kids, is actually changing. Our households are shrinking. So a lot more people are identifying with me and the Dink movement. But it's not only that, it's really empty nesters. So a lot of our friends, of course, are Gen X and their kids are in college or have moved on and have gotten married. They're now becoming grandparents. So a lot of our friends that do have kids actually are having to think like Dinks and actually start cooking like Dinks again, because they're at a different phase of their life. So it's really an entire way of looking at, your health and your wellness and food and how you prepare food at home.
Yeah, I mean, it's completely about lifestyle, right? I'm curious, what is your favorite Dink cuisine recipe right now? I'm sure it's hard to pick. You got a lot of them. They look so good. I was looking at the different options. I was like, I don't know where I'd begin. But what is yours right now?
One of the things I really love to do is to make lasagna in a loaf pan and actually preparing the noodles. So if you take a look at a standard lasagna noodle, it's pretty much the width just about of a loaf pan. So you sort of, you can layer in it, and it doesn't matter if it's a white sauce or a red sauce. In my first cookbook, Italian Cookbook for Two, I've got a great recipe for chicken lasagna with a white sauce. And sort of, brown off the chicken, you put some fennel seeds in it, some ricotta, standard way to make lasagna, but you do it in a loaf pan so that it's basically 2 very generous portions, which is phenomenal. It's my favorite.
So smart. It's so smart. And you're right. It does fit perfectly. So, I mean, it sounds easy to do and exactly for 2 people. Hey, Alicia, creator of Dink Cuisine, thank you so much for your time and wonderful insight about this trend that has really come to light thanks to social media. Thank you.
Thanks, Lauren. Thanks for having me.